changes of build AD on this guy. He doesn't even scale with health. Just please, we'll let you one-shot someone if you just build 10 AD. Eventually, they'll do it. Eventually, people will build attack damage. Acadian has done it. He played Rek'Sai a couple times last week. One game did Cinderhulk, one game did Warrior. It does depend on the situation. I can see why you would be hesitant to go Warrior this game because you tunnel in, try and one-shot someone, and then Galio ults you, and you're dead because the guy got damage reduction, didn't kill him, and now you have no resistances. So a difficult situation to be in, obviously.
Yeah, between Thresh Peel, Galio damage reduction, even just Galio taunt. I mean, you can see Rek'Sai tunneling in because she has that tunnel animation. It's not an instant blink. And as you see that, all you do is turn your taunt on. Uh-oh, Rek'Sai's on top of my dudes. All of a sudden, taunt.
Yep.
Problem solved.
Very telegraphed engage.
Well, Echo Fox hopes that it's not going to be too telegraphed because they would love to walk away with a 2-0 victory in this one, exactly like they did earlier on in this split. When they played against Liquid the last time, it was a swift couple of games. Never made it to game number 3. Liquid needs to change that here. Again, this team currently sitting on a 2-6 record. Really just trying to avoid being at the very bottom right now. Still halfway through the split. There's still a chance to come back, but that journey needs to begin right here.
Yes, subbing in 2 players as well, trying to really flip the script from that last game. Getting Matt onto Thresh, because to Thresh has the potential to give them some big gains in the laning phase. Matt can be one heck of a playmaker when he's hot on Thresh, so giving himself some opportunity to try and jump back in.
I mean, the man's name was originally Matt Life.
Yep.
He named himself after Mad Life, the Thresh King, right? Like, this guy should be able to make some plays and set things up for this team. And I like the faith that they have putting him on that, saying, look, we're going to not only bring you in, we're going to put you on your champ, because that's how we're going to win this and stay in this series.
Yeah, Thresh and Bard really 2 champs he became known with early on. Again, becoming more and more common, a bit of a super leash there where Piglet and Matt helped with red. This is allowing Rainover to get to blue very quickly. So he'll be level 3 with double buffs in a very fast fashion. I mean, notice how he's killing blue, where Acadian just finished red. So he's a full camp ahead of Acadian.
And Acadian...
And then he goes to farms crop, so...
Yep, chill out. Just waiting a little bit. Last time we did get to see it make the level 3 gank in the top side onto Looper. They came so close to getting the first blood, but the potion and the lightning surge kept him barely alive. This time Rainover's not as interested in it. Acadian barely slipping past vision there, not going to be seen by Lorlo. Only half HP, which is kind of risky going into a Renekton.
It's actually so risky, considering Kha'Zix could have been in the brush there, and you would absolutely lose that 2v2 if Kha'Zix got a super pull. Instead, Rainover is going for the full level 4. Level 4 seconds before his assault. So very, very fast, and a full level and 2 camps up on Acadian.
Yep, puts Acadian a little bit behind. We know both these champions very, very good at ganking early, especially Rek'Sai. With that new Emax, the burst from the Furious Bite does so much damage, but Kha'Zix is not exactly a slouch in the burst damage department either. That guy gets on top of you. Very easy to melt away some of the health bars. Plenty of setup in the lanes, too. I mean, honestly, if you're looking at Team Liquid's lanes, you've got a Renekton with a point-and-click stun. You've got Golden Blue with the Galio, who has 2 different forms of really strong CC. Bottom lane, you've got Thresh. Everybody can assist if Rainover comes for a gank. Very gankable lane for Rainover, and he's also trying to make an invade here. He's going to see Acadian. Rainover has smite, so does Acadian, but Keith and Gate should be turning to help right now. Rainover, although he's got the edge in that 1v1, not going to be a 1v1 for long. Backing away, taking the Scuttle Crab as the Constellation tries instead. Pretty easy to farm that one up with red buff players. Performing on both sides, that's a 1-wave advantage for Froggen already. 6 CS up on Golden Blue, doing a good job harassing. And last game against Slushi, it was a decent advantage for a while. Remember, it stayed at 15 CS for a good minute, and then it just sort of started ballooning and ballooning and ballooning as Echo Fox controlled more and more of the map, and all those resources were given away to Froggen. And I noticed, even as we were watching the replay of that one team fight that happened, as Froggen gets the kill and jumps over the Krug wall, he farms the Krug real quick before he regroups with his team. He's like, 1 second, I just gotta take care of this real quick. Static shims them all to death, and then goes back to fight. Yeah, 1 second, there's like 8 CS in this camp, I need it. Like, come on, it takes 1 hit to kill, it's gonna make my numbers look really, really good. Golden Blue getting bullied around here early on, though. I mean, what would you expect? Galio, before he has a little bit of AP under his belt to make the Winds of War clear that back line, not going to have the best time against the Rangers. It's tricky. Galio does have tremendous range for not being pushed out of waves, but by no means going to dominate the Corki. Well, bottom side, a nice early lead for Piglet over his opponent in Keith. Piglet, a very talented player, but over the wall goes Rainover, looking to fight Acadian here. They're both going to be drawing some Krug aggro now as well. Rainover doesn't get the heal from his W, forced to go back over the wall. No flash expended. Acadian uses his own Frog to get him. Oh my goodness, Frog gets the first blood over that wall. Has to use his own flash to get in there. Now waiting around, trying to get out. He's got multiple people closing in, but Looper comes in to help. Acadian firing some Prey Seekers over the wall. They're looking to turn this one around. 3 versus 2. A good taunt coming in from Looper. Lorlo taking low. Golden Blue going to be brought low now as well, but they've turned things around. Froggen with no mana. And Looper has to try to escape from this one. The taunt being channeled. The flash into the setup. A double kill for Golden Blue. Froggen on the run, but is he going to be running anywhere? I don't think so. Jad, here it comes. The triple kill for Golden Blue.
And 6 stacks on a Dark Seal to boot at the end of that one. It looked so good for Echo Fox when Froggen could just flash over the wall to get this kill. Watching the replay, I mean, Acadian did start it beautifully. He got the Tremor Sense, just waited. And he also gets the Krugs to help out with his damage onto Rainover. Pretty gorgeous. As you mentioned, not getting the heal on his W means he goes back in there. Froggen says, I'll take that. He Valks close and then flashes, and then he turns on his Gatling gun. So not only does he not have Valkyrie, he doesn't have the mana to Valkyrie. So it's time, Lorlo and Golden, you say, what's up? Echo Fox says, we must protect Froggen. Looper flashes in, but it's a tough fight. Galio and Rek can do very strong amounts of damage in close quarters. Acadian goes in to help. He gets power fisted first by Golden Blue. That's not actually the ability. I think it's like Justice Punch or something. But then Golden Blue still has flash, gets the double taunt, the triple kill at the end since Froggen has no mana this entire time is just huge for Team Liquid. Colossal Smash.
Yeah, Colossal Smash is the passive. Justice Punch is the rear back and slam forwards thing, but Echo Fox really not happy with how that one played out. I was super curious, but Looper now going to potentially be dove by 3 now. Ashen is tanky, but not quite yet. Rainover grabbing the kill credit. Golden Blue barely even takes that much damage into his health bar.
Yeah, and he had the window to go mid right there. It is going to be punished a little bit. A Canyon Wave in the mid lane. Turret damage reduction is gone at 5 minutes, so this is full damage being done to that mid-tier turret. Golden Blue's going to have a hard time getting back there without actually giving up first turret at 7 minutes.
Both sides trying to rush for turret first blood if they can, and it looks like it's going to be Team Liquid that gets it. Their opponents have been forced off, and Lorlo's going to be left to get a solo gold on that one. Again, what you mentioned in the draft, they're preventing the problem from last game. They want Lorlo to be strong in this split.
Yeah, and getting those early kills for the mid lane and jungle are so critical. Galio that gets that gold lead is so aggressive, just stopping you from doing anything on the map with the threat of the ultimate. So Golden Blue feeling very comfy in this mid lane now themselves.
Plus, like you said with those Dark Seal stacks, look at Winds of War. Just toss it into the back line, everything's cleared out, everything's fine. He's got no worries now. Rainover stealing away his opponent's red buff. That much more kill potential. It's a threat on him now. 2,500 gold lead, 8.5 minutes into the game. Phenomenal start for Team Liquid as Echo Fox just seems to not be able to find their foot.
Definitely not. They're gonna try and stall. I mean, that's what Echo Fox does when they're in these situations. They don't actually have too many tools to get strong initiations. They're not a huge fan of their team composition. As I mentioned, the way they won last game, right, was just kind of winning lanes and daring Team Liquid to fight them, and they weren't able to do that. But when you look at this bottom lane for Team Liquid with the Jhin and the Braum, there's a lot of engage there. And when they don't have a lead, they're not really able to do it. They're not going to be able to all-in a mid-game Galio for next week.
Yeah, that's a little bit scary. Rainover picking up his own red buff now. Froggen has the package, but not really finding any suitable delivery location. Cloud Drake is up, so not the kind of Drake that's going to inspire some early fights either. With a blue buff, not afraid at all, stepping up and going through.
Definitely not. And as long as he has Rainover in his back pocket as well, pulling it from just to challenge each other. Health Crystal on Acadian makes him much stronger.
And that Health Crystal on Acadian does lead me to believe he will be going for a Cinderhulk this game, so we don't get to fulfill our wish of seeing the damage-heavy Rek'Sai going for the Kalista, diving into the back line. Instead, just wants to be more tanky.
Yeah, I'm sad, but I also understand it if he doesn't end up turning the Health Crystal into a Canopydrus. But they're going for a guy who's bottom lane, perhaps.
He smell something funny and immediately back away. They know there's nearby, so they will just concede the turret instead. Stick around for this. You can see the turret anyway, and you will die.
Searcher. It's the proper way to pull back like that, and now they have a Katie behind them if they do end up being built, but Team Liquid are taking a lot right now. They've already killed the top lane turret. Orlo's trying to split down and help them out in the mid lane. So it's great.
No problem whatsoever. Once you have those isolated bonus evolved claws that lower the cooldown so significantly, you just tear the thing apart when you're waiting in that pit. Kha'Zix is very capable of soloing that rather quick.
5-man dive.
Here it comes, TP in. Cancelled. Ethan Gate gets himself back in time. Good awareness from him, recognizing when these problems are coming at them, but they still yield the turret, and that's still a 2-0 objective advantage for Team Liquid 3 if you want to count the Dragon.
Yep, I think it's the right play. They're both from all sides. Orlo channeling teleport and canceling it also because Echo Fox is backed up from the wave. So I think we know the plan that Echo Fox is going to be going with here. Just the slow stall out, please don't kill me game. The question will be is, even if they get to that point, what will they be able to do? There's going to be so much power coming through when Orlo has his 2 items and when Galio has his 2 items and when Kalista has her 2 items. It's incredibly strong power spikes, and they're going to hit that before Echo Fox is even at their 2 items. So that's where I think Team Liquid, that's kind of what they're playing around when they want to get big.
Now, one thing I just noticed is very strange on Acadia in this game. We've been having a bit of a conversation since earlier today as Irene introduced the idea of pros now wanting to max the E on the red side because you can Furious Vipers to get lower cooldown tunnels. Acadia's just going half and half. He's got 3 points into each skill so far, but the Q and the E, which is a little bit curious because I haven't seen that approach yet.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty close choice between either one. I don't think there's going to be huge difference between the Q and the E. Basically, if you're going Emax, you're doing it for a little bit of utility and also more burst on your E. Whereas if you get all 3 Qs off, it can be better for your jungle clear, right? Because you're getting 3 of the AoE Qs off and still about the same. So I don't mind it. I think there's not too much craziness going on with the Rek'Sai. I prefer the Emax, but
meanwhile, Team Liquid saying, hey, we've got an early lead. Let's go ahead and take down Rift Herald. Could be a free objective. We can turn that even into more turrets as they pick it up, send everybody towards mid lane, and that's probably where you're going to see this drop.
They're coming for mid lane.
Yeah.
Logan, you better defend this real well, but you will not be able to. Everyone in their team is just kind of cowering behind their turrets.
You can see a lot of pings coming out from Echo Fox saying, okay, we need to ARAM right now, get everybody middle, we need to stop this, but Rift Herald already in position. Headbutt into the turret. He's trying to throw up the shield to stop this one if he can, but now he's going to be dragged in. The death sentence finds him, trying to flash himself away. Galio makes a hero's entrance. He's going to be the first one to fall as the damage comes out in return, but it will not be enough. Echo Fox, not nearly as strong as in game number 1. They lose the turret and their shield.
Yeah, I don't really know what the plan was there for Echo Fox. It's 5 people in a Rift Herald. They have a Shen in the side lane. So I'm thinking, all right, maybe they're hoping to bait and engage and Looper's going to ult in and they're going to turn around. That's why Gate's defending the turret there. So he throws up the shield, gets hooked. I'm like, all right, Looper's going to be on his way. Goes and stands in the box. Nothing happens. This Rift Herald kills. No one engages for Echo Fox. So maybe they had the inkling that they'd be able to defend this, and that's definitely what Gate was thinking. I thought Acadian would come in with the Shen and they might try a big fight here, especially once the turret starts on the golden blue. But none of that happens. They just let Gate die, and Looper never channels his ultimate. They're going bot.
Taunt onto Lorlo doesn't result in a kill. Now Acadian's going to be taken low, and he's in some trouble. Flashing away, golden blue coming in on the flank. Gate here to keep these guys off of his allies as they make their retreat, but this is sadly what a lot of times people expect out of Echo Fox is this lack of coordination and communication and just the failed team play as a whole as the game progresses. This is what stops them from finding wins.
Yeah, and this is the team composition that requires them to play well as a team. You're not able to just kind of go into your little office in the laning phase and close the door and then just play your game. That's what they were able to do last game with Looper in the top lane. Everyone just kind of had their job and they executed this game though. A lot of communication has to work. You got a curtain call at the right time, you got to back up Gate, you got to have Looper using his Shen ult intelligently, but he's getting run down.
Yeah, Looper tries to flash away from this, but the follow-up is there. And he got that play, he's got the death sentence, and Piglet's got Looper. Pretty easy pick for those guys. And now Lorlo gets himself away from the counterattack in top side. He'll be forced to yield that tier 1, but he doesn't die, unlike his counterpart.
Yeah, the turret would actually push the gold trade in the favor of the
soon as he had Bork, Lorlo couldn't go anywhere near him. He owned the map. Now he's 0-3-0, 15 CS behind. His inventory is a garage sale. There's no items. Nothing has worked for him so far this game.
Yeah, Shen is a very, very different ninja. The profiles vary drastically. Looper, yes, not playing the same level, but the champions just fulfill such different roles. And we haven't seen Looper find much Echo Fox success on things like Shen because it's just, they don't have great team play together.
I mean, even looking at the champions Looper's played so far in Summer Split, they like to play Kennen and Rumble and things like that, things that actually have a serious damage threat behind them. Renekton, another big one for him. Shen is that's not in that go carry bruiser playstyle that he goes for. Yeah, Shen can do some damage if you go for a Titanic Hydra or something similar, but her Shen damage and Kennen damage, it's just not. And now Team Liquid is up to a 6-1 lead, almost 4,000 gold ahead. Ocean Drake is live, so we'll have to see if they focus any attention onto that one as Gate just struggles to try to build some vision.
Get the Scuttle Crab. We can do something. Oh boy. A lot of this we're still waiting for Baron. This is a struggle for Echo Fox though, right? We're at this point where we're saying, yeah, nothing's working for Echo Fox. So much control. Look at all the tools they're going to have. They're going to hit these amazing power spikes, which is Renekton. It's Spectre's Cal Completion, which is either an Abyssal Mask or a Spirit Visage, plus Frozen Heart or Iceborne Gauntlet, which Golden Blue is close to. And then when Piglet completes his Zeal item, which is probably a Hurricane on top of the Blade of Runescape, they're so strong compared to what Echo Fox would have. But the gold is still only 4,000. And still only 6-1, so waiting to see if Team Liquid can convert.
But I mean, once that Galio has Spirit Visage plus some sort of Glacial Shroud of Illusion, whether it's Iceborne Gauntlet or Frozen Heart, usually Frozen Heart we see. That's so scary when none of the carries on Echo Fox are anywhere near penetration items yet. I mean, we still got some core build stuff to do. And that's scary.
Yeah, that's what I always say. That's when Galio is at the strongest point in the game because no one in their right mind can even utilize this for a 4-point staff by that point. And then Renekton in the same vein has so much health from his ultimate that he can build the damage items but still have a tank profile. That's where Team Liquid is.
And I like seeing what Liquid's doing too, placing this vision down as much as they can in between the lanes, trying to choke out those rotations from their opponents, making Echo Fox worry about moving back and forth in between these lanes, trying to stop them from pushing deeper. Liquid's not willing to just sit on this and have it just be a, okay, we took down the tier 1s, let's wait until 35 minutes, then we'll think about tier 2s.
Yep.
They're aggressively trying to take this game further quicker.
Yeah, they got to be able to do it. Wait for Matt to try and find a hook. They got to be starving vision. Baron will be in basically a minute and a half. Keep the vision out of there and either keep rotating to kill Looper over and over again or get that Baron. You need to force Echo Fox out of this laning pattern. Look at the CS. The fact that Froggen is still up 40 CS and that Keith is 20 CS away from Pipit, or that Looper is only 29 CS down from Lorlo isn't good considering how strong it has been for Team Liquid.
One person I want to talk about, Golden, somebody who has received his fair share of criticism in the past for his performances. He went to Korea, did his boot camp, trained up, came back. At the start of this split, he played a single series, and then they introduced another option, and now it's going to be Acadian caught out and punished. Bigly grabbed himself a killing spree. Bottom side, Golden Glue. The man we were just talking about, going in on Looper, and just taking no damage.
Yeah, beautiful hook from Matt. That's what we're talking about. Right as Baron's going to be spotted, but Froggen's going on Lorlo.
Down here, Lorlo. Pop that ulti. Walking himself out of a neck out the ult is much less scary than one with, but at the same time, Liquid takes their good chance for tier 2.
Yeah, that one. Not a good play by Echo Fox. That kind of guarantees that these turrets will fall. The second instance in this game where Froggen gets himself into a tussle, he's not the one that suffers, but his team suffers greatly. Watching this one more time though, can't quite climb over the wall. Matt gets hit. Nice little finish on the kill there.
Yanked him right out of the tunnel. Really, really good aim from Matt there, going for Acadian. Froggen's got to get another package, but the deliveries are so hard to make in games like these because your team can't get out there to help set anything up with you. You're all afraid to even walk into the fog of war.
And we're at the point. This is the critical point. You're 6,000 gold up. All the items that you need for Team Liquid. Arguably a Black Cleaver on Reignover. They should really not care about that one. It is time to control Ward Baron and make a play. They have so many control wards. They've just placed 2, but at one point they had 11 control wards in their position. They only have 1 on the map at the same time. So they're very much control ward 1 block. Nothing's here. All right, move to the next one. That's why you buy multiple control wards here. And that's all the team is setting up for. And they have the Callista to secure Baron as well. So everything going according to plan right now.
Goldie like this, position like this, for no reason. Liquid should be able to build this into a greater lead. And they do it quick. Gold keeping those waves pushed out, always making sure Echo Fox has to have something to answer. And footage, as we talked about earlier from Fox, they can't seem to find is still very, very unstable. What's the word I'm looking for? Unstable. They can't find their grounding anywhere. Team Liquid doing a good job of making sure that Reignover now level 11 means he has the second evolution as well. Very important for Kha'Zix, going to allow him to have those extra spikes. I believe is the one he went for. Yep, gives you a greater slow on isolated targets, makes it that much more easy to pick them, makes it that much scarier for Fox to walk into the darkness.
Look at the vision though. They actually cleared everything that Echo Fox is blocking the vision of the 2 scrying orbs that were used in the Baron recently by Echo Fox. So they have nothing left to see. Notice how there were 3 controllers on the jungle support and 2 controllers on everyone else. So they not only cleared the river, they then cleared the jungle of Echo Fox. They're just hoping that Echo Fox walks in and they check because they know that Echo Fox can see.
Knowing that they want them to do that. They're just,
here we go.
Really potentially frightened of it. Reignover going in first, use the ult to disengage that one. Keith gonna be ulted by the Shen, looking to keep him safe. Hero's entrance onto the front line as again, Gate is the one in trouble there on the front line, melted down, bullied around. Gorlo gonna be following him straight into the black and white abyss as Looper's forced to flash out. Keith barely gonna be escaping from that death sentence. Echo Fox in retreat as Piglet hops forward, trying to find more spears into the right targets. Froggen played backwards, taunted up, flashing over the wall thanks to the cleanse. 1 for 1 so far. Acadian hooked, but not brought down.
Getting only 1 kill for 1 kill is not what Team Liquid wants as a payoff for the setup they just put into that play. Echo Fox should be so happy about the way that turned out. Notice how they moved directly for the mid lane. That's the only place you can really go when your jungle is taken over so much like that. Instead of being patient or going straight on the Baron, Team Liquid decided to kind of run into them in a 5v5 team fight, kind of validating the boards being put behind them. You get a heads up engage, and that allows it to be a 1-for-1. It actually separates you down because it is kind of a front-to-back team fight, and Froggen is the one person who actually like a power spike with the 2 under power spike. And then because Team Liquid took the overrate, Echo Fox got to take back over control ward fill. 750 gold worth of control wards were spent by Team Liquid to set up that team fight. It gets a 1-for-1, and all they get out of it is an ocean drake. Now the control wards are gone.
And it just all evaporates. The last 5 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
Into thin air. Team Liquid still ahead, still enjoying a very substantial lead. I do not want to downplay that. But at the same time, that lead is not being ballooned into something greater. It's not being turned into a situation where they're set up outside the enemy base with Baron buff under their belts, just waiting to end this and take us to game 3. This is still winnable for Echo Fox.
Yeah, and they're not put in a position anymore where that type of control ward starvation can clear all the vision, because you got people like Lorlo who are building up to Gargoyle Stoneplate who can no longer build control wards because of his item slots, unless he decides to forego a little bit of armor. Piglet though wants to go.
Trying to go in, onto Acadian, onto Keith, able to find some very quick burst, and Keith is done. Piglet unstoppable. Acadian's looking about like a pincushion. A double kill for Piglet.
All right, the old-fashioned way. Run at him.
Yep.
Kill him.
Just run at him till somebody's dead.
Yeah, they had such a lead. I mean, they have been able to do this. They were trying to do it like the clean, good way. Uh-oh, man.
Uh-oh. Thresh a little bit far forward. More damage coming out. Corky Rock is going through. One more against him. Froggen at least getting a kill for himself. Golden Glue occupying both these guys, though. Where is Looper? Still hanging out bottom side. Not even going to be wasting his time with this one. They need to make sure that there's no way for this to be smite stolen. You've got Kha'Zix and Kalista. It shouldn't even be a possibility. There we go. Baron secured by Liquid. The wall goes rain over. Looper on the front lines. Taunt from Golden Blue, not finding anyone. Echo Fox retreats with no mana left on Froggen. And now with Liquid having that Baron, this is where you break the base.
Yeah, watch this fight one more time. Piglet was, I believe, 4-0 before this fight. Just decides to take Matt with them, flashes for a short-range shot. And then Keith is like, uh-oh, I'm actually really far away from everyone and I don't have summoner spells. So they die pretty much.
And even though this is the tankier Rek'Sai from Acadian, the Cinder Hulk into the Knight's Vow, very similar to what we saw last game, doesn't matter. When Piglet's that fed, when he's got 3 items on Kalista, you're not getting away. Now Golden Blue potentially finding himself caught out, but you don't really catch out an enemy tank with that many defensive stats. Damage comes in. The package is forced to be used as a defense mechanism. Acadian again in a troublesome spot, trying to use the ulti to drop the aggro, but it will not work. Liquid grabs the kill onto that enemy jungle, takes his jungle as they go. Put the blue buff on Golden Blue.
Golden Blue probably going to teleport back in, take one of the pushes as well. It's prepping to try and make this big push.
This needs to succeed. This is where they need to run straight into that mid lane. Use this 10,000 gold advantage. Do not allow Echo Fox to have some sort of a miracle defense here. You've got a 6-0 and 1 Kalista. You've got a 3-0 and 5 Galio that, by the way, just completed 4 logs. So it doesn't matter if you drop 2% HP, walk out of combat for 30 seconds, boom, right back in.
He's actually prepping a third wave because they look like they're fairly committed to 1-3-1ing this. It's really interesting watching Team Liquid play this one out because I feel like the coaching is there with what the plays they're executing, but they're not quite clean with the execution of it. The way they just went to base and cleaned out all the vision of Baron from the river to red buff was like super good. That's something that you train. That is definitely a play that you train. What brushes do we need to control it? How do you move up? But then actually knowing what to do after the fact wasn't quite there. And the way they actually got the win was, we see people in mid, let's run at them and get them. And then even now, it's like, okay, we have Baron. What do I don't think we should do? Okay, it's a 1-2-1 push, get the waves, push mid. But they had someone dead, so the correct play is actually just to run it up mid with 5 people. Either way, it's probably going to work. They prepped the 1-3-1, now they go.
Now they're running up top with 5 people. Golden Blue on those front lines, seeing if they can break this one open. Tier 3 nearly brought down so far. They will find that one. Golden Blue trying to channel that taunt, looking to grab somebody if he can. Acadian again, going to be caught out, bursted down, punished. As Keith will be going down first, the killing streak for Rainover is a 2-for-0 on a god like Piglet. Team Liquid really wants to take this to game number 3, and they are so incredibly close, 13-3 in kill count. I don't think Froggen can hold this one. He's only 2 kills in. The Corki will not be enough to defend against a 5-man strong Liquid squad. TP coming in, being channeled. Lorlo's right back in the fight, home guarded up. Nexus turret number 1 taken down. Nexus turret number 2 falling shortly. And Team Liquid will not be stopped today. It took them a little while to make it happen, but they're on to the Nexus. They're taking down Echo Fox, and they're going to make them work for it. We're headed to game 3.
Yeah, missiles can only do so much if you're Froggen when Team Liquid was massively ahead from the early game. 7-0-2 for Piglet. Those are the types of games that feel good, especially for guys like Golden Blue and Matt, who were subbed in for this game. Take their business.
That's the 10-man roster, right? That's the power of being able to make these swaps.
That's when it works, right? It feels great when it works. They go, okay, we switched up these matchups. Golden Blue picked up an early triple kill. Piglet and Matt were dominant. Everything worked out for them, and that's Team Liquid trying to pick up their 3rd match win of the season.
And let's not forget to give credit where it was due. That first fight in the top side, that triple kill for Golden Blue, gave him everything he needed to have that massive presence that he needed for the rest of the game. And he honestly didn't stop being a threat after that. There was never a point where it's like, man, Golden Blue squandered that. He was always this big brick of a front line. He was always threatening the taunts and threatening those justice punches in every single fight.
Yeah, and I do feel like when you're trying to recap this game, Echo Fox is going to see potentially some drafting problems with it because they didn't really find winning lanes. Their strongest player, Froggen, didn't have a huge win split with Galio. And then obviously a lot went wrong, so their one place where they could win is no longer going to go well once you get a 7-stack Darkseal Galio game. So Team Liquid was able to take it. From all the things that Echo Fox won with in game 1, where they had 3 pushing lanes and close together because they have so much there, and then you just have a bunch of really strong teams. So they could
really did like there, especially when you get Liquid. They had a good comp. Echo Fox, we make jokes about saying, oh, it's the Koreans better. Play better than your opponents. Yeah, the problem was this game, they didn't play better than their opponents, and so it led them to some trouble. Like that fight we were talking about, it was 5 minutes, 30 seconds into the game, a 3-for-1 topside for Liquid that just took this game into their control.
Yeah, and initially I'd like it from Acadian. Rainover did have the level advantage, which makes this a little dicey, but Rainover's going to go for the counter jungle. Acadian teams up with the Krugs to take Rainover really low, and then if that was a kill, the play is actually called off. But Froggen Valkyried to flashing in onto Rainover, and even at this point, you can just trade. You're allowed to trade first blood for a kill back. That's fine. But Echo Fox go for more, even though Acadian's low and Froggen's out of mana. Lorlo doesn't have mana, and Golden is also full mana, so it's not actually a fair 2v3, so to speak. Golden very powerful with his base damages, punches him to death right there. And then they can just chase on since he still has his flash, and Froggen once again expended the flash just to secure that kill. And when Golden Blue picked up this triple kill, it got even worse for them. They dived the top lane later on. Froggen still couldn't get that pressure going in his lane. And you can see Team Liquid never really relented the goal lead from that point forward.
Damage double champions, another ridiculous performance by Froggen, by the way. Even though they lost, he was almost more damage than anybody else in the game put together, including the 2 most defensive of the enemy team that won. But
yeah, that's 19,000 damage for everyone who's been on Froggen's team, and 22,000 damage for him. That's quick math in my head, about 60% damage here. Using normally 34. That'll happen though when you're getting smashed, like Echo Fox was there. You have one champion with a really good poke like Corki. Corki always, even though the mid lane average for like all of them 27-30%, Corki's always around 35 or 40. Not 60. He gets there. I don't know about that. It's a little bit of a rough time for the box. Back in the last. That's a different situation in the yeah, and they need to, if they're going to do that, they need to find the archetypes for these, because if they're banning out the King, and Thor's getting banned in the second phase, there wasn't that thing that could be solo turret that demands 1 or 2 times. I think that got a whole team by King and almost totally replaced. So, haven't found that archetype to throw banners.
Well, we're headed for game 3 between Echo Fox and Team Liquid, the one to decide it all. Stick around after the highlight, the most recent edition of this possession, or in a LCS after this, or maybe that. The taunt being channeled, the flash into the setup, a double kill for Golden Blue. Froggen on the run, but is he going to be running anywhere? I don't think so, Jack. Here it comes. The triple kill for Golden Blue. He's going to be on the chance of safe heroes entrance on the front line, as again, Gate is the one in trouble there on the front line, melted down, falling around. Lorlo going to be following him straight into the black and white abyss.
You guys want me to keep going? No, TP for that. I went. I'm ulting. I'm looking corking. Keep going.
You don't thrash. Go on.
Let's go, Dinesh. Go, Dinesh. I'm ulting on you, Matt. 1 sec.
I'm coming.
How you doing? Solid 4 out of 10. That's great. I'm also taking a lot of comments. I'm talking about the rules because I said we're never going to talk about the rules. I know that's slides and say the number of slides are rules.
I feel like it's a rule that we aren't allowed to find out what's on the slides beforehand.
I think that's just giving general information. We have 6 slides today, and added context.
That's good information.
Our producer says one of them is stupid. So we're going to see which one it is. We're trying to guess as we go through.
I'll be the judge of how many are
stupid. And this or that. Better mid, Bjergsen, or Jensen.
This is a good one.
Better mid,
overall. Because better